What's good? What's good? This is Stico. This is Stico the podcast. Look, I appreciate y'all being part of this journey. Trust me, man, when I say this, thank you. Thank you. You know, once you get things rolling and you start from the very bottom and you work your way up and you see your work and you see people actually paying attention, man, it's a blessing. It's a blessing that people are actually interacting through the comments, sharing the videos, subscribing to the channel, that like the videos, and all that. And I know they're getting notified because I see some people already getting lined up and about to drop something. So I just want to say thank you for that. Man, let me let me jump into this one specifically about the homie Noriega, man. He's a hip hop legend. Let's just give it up, to Noriega. Let's give it up. Let's give it up. Yo, look, he has this podcast called Drink Champs, and I can't wait till the day he has two artists I want to see on there is Jay-Z and 50 Cent. I want to see how that plays out. But definitely having those two, I can't wait to see that. I know in the future that's probably gonna happen. Even having Drake on there, and I thought that they were gonna drop something like that, but we didn't get a chance to see Drake on Drink Champs. But look. Have y'all ever been on Instagram or any kind of social media and you get them little short clips? Usually when I go through them, I'll be like, let me pay attention and see what they got to say. But there was this one specifically one that Nori said something about the industry is not meant for the artist to succeed. And he breaks it down and explains it. And I was just like, where's this interview from? So I just started doing my research. And the interview comes from a podcast called I Am Athlete with Brandon. Yo, I ain't gonna lie to you, the setup is nice. I like the way it's set up, the way they all interact with each other. It's pretty dope. So shout out to Am Athlete. I'm gonna drop the link in my description. So they're chopping it up with Nori, right? And they're giving him his flowers. And it's dope. It's dope just to see that, give back. But Nori talks about, on that specific one, about how the industry is basically just pimping the artist. Like the main purpose of an artist signing a contract is for them not to ever get out of this contract. They give you an advancement for a certain amount of money. After that, you do good or you do okay. Then they expect you to do, and they just keep upping it. But basically, they're giving you a loan for you to pay back with interest. So it makes you think, do artists still want to sign to a record label? And he breaks it down, and then he even talks about, the transitioning into the podcast and how he feels more free, more of a boss. But yo, there was this part in this interview, right, that he said he was at an event, and this is where the change happened. Him not wanting to do the whole rap thing anymore. He wanted to do something different. Is that it's the way they approached him. He was getting paid $75,000 for his show. $75K, yo. And then the way the promoter, said was like, hey, you're next, did the whole hand gesture like, get over here, come here. Because, you basically work for hire at that point, but the way it made him feel, and he was like, nah, like, I need to go a different direction. But then I started saying to myself, like, a lot of artists are getting used like that. He talks about a lot of good things in this interview. He's giving people game, and he basically is open. The idea he came out with Drink Champs is to open up the door for artists that we forget that they played a part in the music business. And he talks about that. And yo, is it me or was Nori the first one to do the crossover into reggaeton with the rap? Was he the first one? I might have to do my research on it, but he talks about it. And you know what's crazy about that too is that he went to the record label with Daddy Yankee. I'm talking about, like, he went to the record label with these records, and they were like, nah, do your own thing. But once the record took off, they want to be part of it. I want to, and that's crazy, right? Because see, this is something for the upcoming artists, right? Don't always assume because a record label or somebody at a higher position doesn't like your record, the record doesn't move for itself. Because he talks about that. in this, once I started, just digging a little bit deeper, and I was like, what song was he talking about? And I started listening to the record. I'm like, man, I do know that record. It still gets played to this day at clubs. But one thing is that he did talk about was that owning your masters, how important it is to know your business, and is he ever gonna do music again? And one thing I gotta respect Nori for saying this is that if you're not all the way in it, well, if he's not all the way in it, he's not gonna do it. And I feel like certain people do things just to do them. They don't do them with a purpose. And coming from an artist that's been in the game for so long, and him to say that, it speaks volumes, because I feel like a lot of people just want to do something just so they can feel like they got to be doing something, because if I don't do it, then I feel like I'm falling behind. And there are times where I feel like that, if I don't do something. But not lately, I've been feeling like I'm going to do it because I feel like there's a purpose for me to do it. And watching this interview, like I said, y'all got to check out this interview. I'm going to put it in my description. He talks about a lot of things that you could literally take as a business. If you're running a business, if you want to be an independent artist, if you want to start your own thing, he breaks it down. And and he keeps it entertained. It keeps you entertained, because I think that if a person could have a conversation with somebody, right, because it could lead to two things, right? It could lead to the fact, okay, he ain't got much to say, or it could lead to the fact, hey, what is he saying that could potentially help me out? Because as an artist, one of the things is that I look for is I look at my peers. I look at the people that been here before me, and when I see them, I say, hey, what did they do that I could potentially put that in motion for me to move? Because when there's plenty of videos where Nori's telling you about the doors, you go through these doors, and behind these doors are certain things, that rituals that you have to agree with doing, or say, you know what, I'm not gonna do that, and eventually, but that's not this. I'm not gonna drop that in the description. I'm just saying, man, he actually gives you insight of, advice in the music. So when I hear like a Soulja Boy saying we're the OGs in the game that could help us out, that's one OG right there. And I'm gonna keep calling them out. You know why? Because you cannot say there's not people influence the new generation. Either the new generation's not paying attention, or they just acting blind. But there is certain people like Nori, Fat Joe, the list goes on, that they're giving advice to the youth for them to make better decisions in the hip hop game. But definitely, man, y'all check out the interview, I'm Athlete. And I'm gonna do another one that I'm kind of like iffy about them. That one specifically was good, but there's certain ones that I'm like, I don't know. But we will talk about that in the next one, man. But yo, subscribe to the channel, check out that interview. Also, if you like what you see, press like, share this video, and y'all let me know, was Nori the first one to cross over to the reggaeton as a hip hop artist? Y'all let me know. Hey, always remember, have peace in your heart, have faith, and never give up. All right, one.